America is deeply divided. There are only two sides to every issue, and there is no interest in finding common ground, not even with members of your own family. But as the 2024 presidential election looms on the horizon, there has never been a more important time to have the necessary conversation.
Welcome to the necessary conversation. Mom and Dad, do you have a TV going in the background there?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I forgot.
If you could just
Lord.
not have that going on,
There.
it'd be a lot easier to hear you both. Thanks for joining us. Of course, this is a podcast where myself, Chad Kultgens, and my sister Haley Pope talk to our parents, Bob and Mary Lou, about all of the big political issues that have gone on this week. We have opposing views. Of course, my sister and I are very liberal, and our parents are... What are you guys? What do you consider yourselves?
That's a question. Bob, that's a question.
He didn't say Dad.
Dad, what do you consider yourself? What is going on?
I consider myself anti-communist, 100% American, and the bullets are going to start flying soon.
Okay, Mom, what do you consider yourself?
I am an American. I'm a Republican.
Okay.
And I am for Donald Trump.
All right.
And Dad said today he will not speak unless he is asked a question directly at him.
Okay, Dad, first question to you, directly at you. 282 days ago, you said there would be a nuclear weapon used in Ukraine within 30 to 40 days. Again, it's 282 days past that prediction. Has your prediction failed?
No, it has not. In fact,
Wait a minute. I lost the picture. Where do I go?
Try Zoom.
Well, if I hit the X, I'm going to X this out.
Don't hit Zoom. Hit the Zoom button.
Where?
Right above it.
There we go. I got it.
All right. Dad, has your prediction failed?
No, I am not wrong. In fact, the Russians fired a test missile yesterday.
Okay.
Well, nuclear. Oh, by the way, nuclear.
Yeah. But that could be just bluster, just showing off, whatever.
No, they're going to exterminate the Ukraine.
All right. Well, speaking of Russia and Ukraine, we like to start our shows off with questions from listeners. And we have one today about Russia and Ukraine. Are you ready?
Yes.
Dad, are you ready?
Yes.
You have
Haley,
to say that.
are you ready?
Yeah, I'm always ready.
There we go.
Hi, Kultgens family. My name is Josh. I'm a artist and art professor in Houston, Texas. The question I have really relates to Bob and Mary Lou. Last episode, I couldn't help but notice, especially with the ending, that both of y'all were focused on picking a side in the Israeli and Palestinian conflict in Gaza. So under that logic, I kind of noticed that when it came to Ukraine and Russia, y'all weren't willing to pick a side. In fact, you danced around the question. So this is me giving you a chance to answer that question. Between Russia and the Ukraine, which side do you choose? And if you refuse to answer this question or just fail to, according to Bob's rules of this, he should just die immediately. Anyway, have fun with that. Hope you all are well. Listen to the podcast for a long time. Bye.
So there you have it.
So he said Bob should die if we don't answer this question.
No, Dad said that last week. Dad said if you don't choose a side, you should die.
You gonna call me first?
Yeah.
Sure, Dad. What do you?
I'll pick a fucking side. Russia.
Interesting. So you
kill all the Ukrainians.
Okay. Kill all
Annihilate
the Ukrainians. And you want then, so you're allying with an enemy of the United States.
No. The enemy of the United States is China. It's not Russia.
It is
Russia. In the ultimate end, Russia will be our ally. And I choose Russia over Ukraine 1,000%. And your little artist teacher in Houston can go take his liberal ass and shove his head right up inside it because he doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground or what's going on in the fucking world.
Okay, Mom.
End of story.
All right, Mom, who do you side with?
Wow. Okay. That wasn't very nice, but in the beginning, I was with Ukraine. But now what's happened with Biden and taking bribes, and now I see how that's how that is all intertwined. I'm leaning more toward Russia there, but of course in Israel, I stand all the way fully with Israel.
Well, we're going to check in on that war at the end of today's show, so you have a little time to discuss that in more detail. Okay. But I find it very surprising that you're both aligning with a sworn longtime enemy of the United States.
Well, I don't.
Actually, that's not true either.
Okay.
Where are you? I can't find you.
Russia was our best ally less than 50 years ago.
Well, 50 years is a long time.
Oh, yeah. And we'll have another 50 of them standing beside us. Get ready.
Right. The reason in the beginning, the reason we sided with Ukraine, of course, is because if Russia goes in there and takes all that down, then they won't stop and they'll go on to the next country. That's what we were worried about.
But the Ukrainians are evil. They have stolen all of that fucking money. Mm-hmm. They've enriched Zelensky, and they ain't worth saving.
Do you think that Vladimir Putin steals money from his citizens? And his oligarchs?
Absolutely. And he'll kill them if they get out of line.
Right. But you're down with that.
I'm down with that.
Do it.
I am thinking Putin is dead. And there is a body double in there. I have been reading so much. Why haven't we brought this up? I really think he died, they said a couple weeks ago, with a heart attack. Is anybody not reading this?
Yeah, you said that, and I did Google this like last week or the week before. And everything that I found said that this is a internet rumor from like 10 years ago that just resurfaced, and it's been debunked a million times.
Serious. Okay.
Yeah. Huh. So.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Up to date on that, I thought.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, just because this little prick's from Houston doesn't make him smart. He's a dumbass fucking art teacher in Houston, Texas.
Okay. I thought the question was very good.
All he did was ask you a question.
That's almost absolutely fucking ridiculous.
All I did was ask a question.
If you would like to be insulted by my dad after you ask a simple question, you can put your question in a 1 minute or shorter audio format and send it to.
Sure, you ain't some fucking liberal or from East Coast or West Coast, because anything you got to say is totally ignored by me because you're stupid.
Okay. You have no idea what that person's politics are. You only know that they're from Houston.
You're so full of shit. I know exactly what his politics is.
All right. If you would
I'm 10 times smarter than that motherfucker.
Okay.
Yeah.
You weren't
if you would like to send your question to this show, you just put it down in a 1 minute or shorter audio format. Send it to the necessary conversation pod at gmail.com. I go through them all and I play the best ones here, and you get the reaction that you get just like this one, apparently. So we're going to move on now to our show at hand. We've got a lot of big topics to discuss. The first one is kind of lengthy. Bear with me, but I think this is worth doing because I want to dig into Trump's legal saga. I want to try and keep it straight. He's involved in multiple trials, all of them at different phases. I'm just going to go through the information that is factual information about where each of these trials stand, which ones have concluded, how much money he owes to who, et cetera, and then I have some questions after this. So, again, let me get through this. This is kind of lengthy, but we need all this information to then have a conversation about it. So here we go.
Hey, by the way, this is
what happens is not answering unless you're calling. Literally, I'm about to read all this shit.
You have not been addressed.
I'm not going to argue about anything. Okay. I just want everybody to notice that Kitty, the Republican, is licking the hell out of me. She loves it. She loves it.
Yeah, Kitty is my parents' dog, for those who are only listening and not watching this on YouTube. And she's a little chihuahua who sits on the back of the couch and licks my dad's head as he is advocating for genocide across the world. Here we go. Trump is currently involved in a hurricane of legal dilemmas, more than any former president in the history of the country, and all of them are playing out as he's running for re-election next year. So here is a brief, in quotes, as brief as I could make this, rundown of everything currently going on. First, a judge in New York is going to hear Trump himself explain on Monday under oath in a witness box why his company inflated the value of his assets when he was trying to secure loans. Second, a judge in Colorado heard testimony this past week from January 6th, 2021, rally organizers, and she's considering whether Trump engaged in an insurrection against the U.S. and thus should be disqualified from the presidential ballot in 2024, which is going to be a subject all its own in another segment here that we're going to do on today's show. Third, a federal appeals court in Washington, D.C. temporarily froze a limited gag order placed on Trump by the judge overseeing his forthcoming federal election subversion trial, another trial entirely. Fourth, a federal judge in Florida might decide to postpone the federal criminal trial against Trump that she's overseeing, the one regarding his treatment of classified material that was, among other places, kept in a bathroom at Mar-a-Lago because his lawyers are overburdened. This is the literal reason that she's like, fuck, we may have to postpone this because his lawyers are doing too much shit in these other trials. So now I'm just going to kind of go through a bunch of these other trials, where they stand, what their outcomes are. So he continues to deny any wrongdoing in all legal matters. He has pleaded not guilty in all of his criminal cases, which relate not just to the efforts to maintain president by overturning the 2020 election and his treatment of classified material after his presidency, but also the hush money scheme that may have helped him win the White House in 2016. The civil fraud trial, unlike Trump's criminal indictments, does not carry the danger of felony conviction and jail time, but it could cost him some of his most prized possessions, including Trump Tower. There's a New York Attorney General Letitia James brought this $250 million lawsuit in September 22, alleging that Trump and his co-defendants committed repeated fraud and inflating assets on financial statements to get better terms on commercial real estate loans and insurance policies. Judge Arthur Engeron has already ruled that Trump and his sons, who gave testimony deflecting blame to accountants, are liable for fraud for inflating the value of his golf courses, hotels, homes, financial statements to secure these loans. A higher court in New York rejected Ivanka Trump's attempt to delay the order for her to testify based on the fact that her children were in school. That's where all those stand. Let's move on now to some that have concluded. Federal civil court in New York, the E. Jean Carroll defamation lawsuit in May. A federal jury in Manhattan found Trump did sexually abuse former advice columnist E. Jean Carroll in a luxury department store dressing room in the mid-90s, awarded her about $5 million. We have the federal criminal court in D.C. 2020 election interference trial in August. Trump was indicted by a federal grand jury and arraigned in D.C. in a courtroom where he pleaded not guilty to charges related to January 6th insurrection. The judge overseeing that case has set the start date for that trial as March 4th, the day before Super Tuesday. Trump has asked federal appeals court to remove the gag order prohibiting him from talking about the case. And he's indicated that he's going to take the issue all the way to the Supreme Court. In New York criminal court for the hush money payments, Trump has been charged with 34 felony counts of falsifying business records related to his role in the hush money payments, given to Stormy Daniels, that and many people believe helped him win the presidency. In the Georgia criminal court, we have these efforts to overturn the election results. The Fulton County District Attorney is using racketeering violations to charge broad criminal conspiracy against Trump and 18 others in their efforts to overturn Biden's victory in Georgia. 4 of Trump's 18 co-defendants have already pleaded guilty to avoid jail time, and they are now agreeing to testify against Trump at later points in the trial. We now move to Florida federal criminal court for the classified material mishandling trial. Trump has pleaded not guilty to 37 federal charges over his alleged mishandling of classified documents. The investigation centers on sensitive documents that Trump brought to Mar-a-Lago. And now we also have the Trump Organization has been convicted of criminal tax fraud. This was in December. The Trump Organization got convicted by a New York jury of tax fraud, grand larceny, and falsifying business records in what prosecutors say was a 15-year scheme to defraud tax authorities by failing to report and pay taxes on compensation provided to employees. Now, we have all of this, okay?
That's
everything I've just said. That is a lot. Question to Mom.
Yes. Hello.
You think all of this is made up?
I don't think it's made up. I think it doesn't matter. I think that is their ditch effort to deflect off of Biden and the crime family and what's going on with them, and to keep Trump so busy that when 1 year from today, we will elect him as our president. By the way, it's 1 year from today. We are recording on November, the 5th. So 1 year from
Tuesday
today
is 1 day from tomorrow. So 1 day from today, there will be no more Biden.
There's no way any of that is going to stick.
And-
It's like what?
But no,
700
let's get beyond if it's going to stick or not. And you said it doesn't matter.
If you keep him off the ballot,
yeah, we're going to get to that later.
Okay.
We will kill the Democrat.
Okay, we're going to get to that later. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about right now.
We will kill the Democrat.
What we're talking about right now is, Mom, I asked you if you believe this is all made up. You said it doesn't matter. So you believe this is true. All of these charges are true?
Don't know.
Those charges don't even make sense to me, half of them. They're making this shit up.
What do you mean?
That one trial that he's in now with Letitia, whatever her name is.
Fat and black.
The only time she comes into the courtroom is when it's a photo op day. That one judge is in there smiling and waving to the crowd. It's all I feel it
all goes together.
It's a stunt. It's a stunt to deflect what's happening.
Black and stupid.
What's happening
all goes together.
Okay. But I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Do you think there is merit to these charges?
No, I don't.
Okay. So you think multiple states, multiple federal judges, multiple prosecutors, multiple grand juries.
They're all biased.
Grand juries.
Yeah.
Grand juries are people selected.
Soros.
No, the grand juries are regular citizens that are put on a jury by the prosecutors and the
with
defense.
$5,000 in their fucking back pocket.
Okay.
Yes.
So you believe all the jurors in these grand juries have been paid off by George Soros?
Yes.
You believe none of these charges are real and it is all made up?
Yes.
Okay. So you believe there is a grand conspiracy here that stretches across multiple states, multiple federal judges, multiple federal prosecutors, multiple citizens.
Douchebag.
What's that?
The way to catch up, douchebag.
Yes, I think that's exactly it.
Fascinating.
Is this?
Are you thinking?
Is this on your own accord?
Black bullshit.
Okay.
Is this on your own accord, or is it shit that you've been watching on whatever news source?
No, this is 100%. His fucking land at Mar-a-Lago is worth more than $18 million. The fucking banks did their own due diligence. By the way,
hold this.
Banks that do due diligence, I've had a little experience with this.
Okay.
Working for Boone and everybody else. They don't fuck around. If they can't make money, they don't loan it to you. And every one of these son of a bitches made a fortune. So all this bullshit that fat, black, and stupid is trying to push up your nose and you're swallowing it hook, line, and fucking sinker is 100% bullshit.
Okay.
100%.
What would you consider yourself?
What?
When you say fat, black, and stupid, you are fat, old, white, and...
No, I'm not fat.
Oh, sorry.
I'm old. I'm old, I'm white, and I'm far more intelligent than any fucking affirmative action person that's in power.
Okay. Now you're saying...
they were all given a job because they're fat, stupid, and black.
Okay, let me ask you this.
I'm not fat.
Is Mom around?
He had to go.
Because I have this one question, and I
had to take over. I had to take over.
Okay, I'm going to ask you both this. Mom, I want to ask you this first. You believe all these charges are fake, that this is just made up by these people to try and hinder Trump from becoming president and deflect from the Biden crime family. Why then would 4 of Trump's co-defendants in the Georgia criminal case plead guilty?
So that they don't go to jail.
Yeah. They've been paid or so that they won't go to
for real crimes.
They're copping a plea because they know they don't have a chance in court with fat, black, and stupid.
Okay.
So you believe every guilty plea, and a bunch of other people have pled guilty around him in all these other cases too, especially in the financial fraud trial. What's that?
He said to stay out of jail.
Fat, black, and stupid are going to make the decision.
Go to the bathroom.
So you believe these people that were Trump loyalists know also that this is a giant conspiracy, that none of this is real, and they're like, fuck it, we have to give into the conspiracy now?
100%.
Yes, I do believe that. I do. There's no way any of this is going to stick. There's no effing way. And if they try to take his name...
Yeah, it's already sticking. People are going to jail for it.
He's not going to jail. And if they try to take his name off any ballots, my God.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
Okay.
That is, in fact, our very next topic. Let's move on to it now. Will Trump be eliminated from the ballot in Colorado? Let me give the facts, then we can discuss. Trump might be facing even more legal trouble than we've already covered, as witness testimony wrapped up last Friday in a 14th Amendment disqualification trial in Colorado, setting the stage for a historic ruling later this month. The week-long trial featured testimony from legal scholars who explain the history of the amendment's insurrectionist ban, U.S. Capitol Police officers who were wounded while fighting the pro-Trump mob on January 6th, organizers of the Trump rally that preceded the violence, 2 House lawmakers, and an expert on right-wing extremism. Closing arguments are slated for November 15th, and a ruling is expected soon after that. The 14th Amendment, ratified after the Civil War, says U.S. officials who take an oath to uphold the Constitution are banned from future office if they, quote, engaged in insurrection. But the Constitution doesn't say how to enforce the ban, and it has only been applied twice since 1919, which is why many experts view these challenges as a long shot. Denver District Judge Sarah Wallace, who was appointed to the bench by Colorado's sitting Democratic governor, will hear closing arguments on November 15th and issue her ruling shortly after that. No matter the outcome, an appeal is expected. The case is happening under a special state law that allows for expedited proceedings, so any appeals are going to go directly to the Colorado Supreme Court. All 7 justices on the court are Democratic appointees. Their decision then can be appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court, which of course has a conservative supermajority, including 3 justices who are appointed by Trump. So
we'll show all those Colorado people.
Okay.
Haley, do you think this has a shot at getting him removed from ballots in Colorado?
Probably not, but I mean, the hope is that like other states will follow suit, and then there's just even more fucking litigation that he's wrapped up in. Like, you cannot fucking possibly run for president and win if you have all of these court cases that you're in. Like, you're fucking in them. You cannot be the president.
Yeah, you can.
I mean,
he hasn't been convicted of any of them.
By the way,
even if he's convicted, he can be president from jail.
Mary, by the way,
I mean, he can.
Like, they can't hear you.
This is also laughable. It's all just like it's fucking madness.
Okay.
And mom and dad are like, "Oh no, I didn't do any of this shit. He did
all
this shit."
Well,
and
hold
then
on. Let me straighten you out on something,
Wait,
folks.
You have to say dad.
You all know he needs to hear this, and you damn sure need to hear this, young lady. If he is not on the ballot in Colorado, that's when we're going to start shooting you motherfuckers. Because he's not going to jail. He's not.
Why are you shooting me? I don't live in Colorado. I have nothing to do with this.
You are. Hey, you're going to pick a fucking side, and we're going to force you to.
Nope. Fuck you. I'm not picking a side. Can't force me.
Then
Never picking a side.
Then you're going to fucking die. Now, here's the other deal. How come we're not arresting? How come we're not arresting the fucking Muslims climbing the fucking fence at the White House right now, putting them in jail for 22 years? You know why? You know why?
Because Biden loves them.
Because Biden doesn't give a shit about the fucking Muslims either.
Or the United States.
It's all about China.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
all right. Well, of course you don't know what I'm fucking talking about. Just happened in Washington, D.C. yesterday, you stupid shit.
Okay, I'm Googling Muslims climbing the White House.
Protest is what you're referring to.
Okay. Climbing the fence. Climbing statues statues that have been up there for years and years of the United States.
Okay, here's what I'm getting. Pro-Palestinian protesters vandalized the gates of the White House with red paint and attempted to scale the fence around the president's residence early Sunday morning, according to footage shared from the blah, 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 blah. Protesters also placed... All right, so dozens arrested.
Yeah, and why aren't they in prison for that?
They were arrested.
No,
and they're out the next day and the same day.
This was something
else. They also, on some of our statues, were putting the rags around their heads.
You're so full of shit.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Who cares? Do you think that that's the same as 2,000 people breaking into the Capitol building and smearing shit on the walls?
Yes.
Same thing.
Okay. Interesting.
Even worse.
I think it's worse.
Even worse because they're terrorists.
They're terrorists, and they're trying to take down our country.
Okay. And the fucking 2,000 people who...
insurrection wasn't?
Yeah.
No, it was not.
Okay. Choose sides, I suppose. So let me ask you this about this Colorado ballot.
In the United States, and they're going to all be Muslims. Get ready.
He has to be next to the microphone,
Okay.
or we cannot understand what he's saying.
in regard to picking a side, there was another thing on TV, Haley. I thought this was very interesting because you're a business owner. It was a business owner in where was that business owner at?
New Jersey.
In New Jersey.
And he's a Greek.
And he's a Greek.
He's not
a
Jew or anything.
So a Greek American, I guess, right? Yeah. And what he did was he took all of the missing Americans and Israeli, I guess the missing Americans and Israelis that are in the war right now. He went pro-Israel and he put pictures of each one of them and put them on the outside of his restaurant. There are lines around the block of people coming in to pay him money.
And how's your business doing?
To be, for Israel. That's why I'm saying you got to take a stand.
You don't.
Haley, you have taken a stand on just about every other fucking thing.
You have
everything.
Tell Chad he's not going
to.
I don't think that
rights.
You're right, and I don't think that any fucking men, women, or children, civilians in Israel or in fucking Gaza should be murdered right now. But you have to acknowledge historically what is going on with Palestinians in that region.
We're going to get to this. Listen, you guys are getting a little off topic here, and that is our final topic today.
Okay.
So let's save the Palestinian-Israeli conflict discussion. Until then, what we are talking about here is Colorado. Are they going to be successful in getting Trump off the presidential ballot? Mom, you say no. Haley, whatever Dad's saying, can't hear it. It's a garbled mess. He has to be sitting next to the microphone or it is irrelevant. Haley, do you think Colorado is going to be successful in getting Trump off the ballot?
Probably not. I mean, if it goes to the fucking federal Supreme Court, like, it's fucking stacked. So, no.
Right. Do you think it even matters at all if he is removed? Colorado hasn't voted for a Republican president since 2004.
No, unless it's a swing state, it doesn't matter. So it's kind of irrelevant. But I do like that they're doing it. I wish every other fucking blue state would do it. Just to do it. Like, just fuck you, Trump. He's a piece of shit.
They can't hear you.
Just say that.
What's he saying?
If you would like to call on Dad, then he will speak.
Dad, do you think it will matter at all if Trump is removed from the Colorado ballot, given that they don't vote for Republican presidents or haven't in 20 years?
Well, it doesn't fucking matter, because if they take him off the ballot, we're going to shoot them all. Everybody in Colorado,
we're going to shoot them all. What does that look like to you?
What it looks like
Who's
to me?
we?
We are the MAGA. And what's going to happen is we're going to come out in droves and we're going to start putting bullets in these fucking Democrats' heads. That judge in Colorado looks like a fucking transsexual to me. Looks like a fucking man. And by the way,
so just blind prejudice here.
Absolutely blind prejudice. We're going to go to town on you, because that's what you motherfuckers have been doing for 20 years. And we're going to make it right through death.
Okay, what now?
Yeah, we're going to kill your ass. And you know what? What you don't get about this, young man, you think you can stay neutral? You're going to pick a side or die.
I'm not neutral. I hate Donald Trump. I'm highly against him. I'm on the opposite side of Donald Trump.
Well, then you're going to catch one between the eyes.
Okay, so when you say we, you're including yourself in this?
Yes.
You will go to Colorado and start killing people?
Yes.
Okay, should I alert the FBI?
Oh my God, the FBI couldn't arrest me if they wanted to.
They can't hear you. He said FBI couldn't arrest him.
Why can he not sit next to you?
Okay, he is.
Tell him I'll kill 10 FBI guys before they get me.
Okay. Do you want to sit by me or not? No.
Just tell him he said that. Just tell him.
Just tell him.
No. Mom cannot. Can he hear me coming out of that? Mom is not going to relay what you're saying back to us. Just say what you got to say. Just be next to the microphone.
Go fuck yourself. That's what I got to say.
Oh my God.
All right.
He's done.
He's done with the episode.
I'm done with him. He's done.
All right. Let's move on. We're going to simmer down a little bit with some sad news in the pop culture world this week.
Bring Dad back for the simmer down at least.
He won't give a shit about this.
In the fucking seat for the simmer down.
I know what he'll say, so that he doesn't give a crap and he doesn't care.
Matthew Perry died this past week. He is one of the biggest TV stars that has ever existed. Of course, he was on Friends. which was one of the biggest shows that ever existed. What were your reactions to this news? Haley, let's start with you because this is of your generation.
I don't give a shit.
I have seen Friends probably like 3 times through. My whole family has. Willow is now watching it like all the way through.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't sad. I don't usually get sad when celebrities die. I just kind of like mourn the loss of that era, of that time frame. You know, it was a significant cultural phenomenon, Friends. So, you know, it's sad, but I didn't like cry about it. Posted like a fucking cake on my page that we made, like, oh shit, he fucking died. But I don't know. It's like the end of that era, of that kind of, like, there's never going to be a sitcom probably that's going to, like, how much money did that shit make? Isn't that the most successful sitcom of like all time?
That I don't know. It's up there with Cheers, Seinfeld. I don't know. I don't know exactly.
Archie Bunker, that one, All in the Family.
What? No, it's way more successful than that.
Yeah. Mom, you very famously, at least within our family, you and Dad were out here visiting for some purpose on the weekend that Michael Jackson died, and you made me drive you to his home in Holmby Hills, to the UCLA Medical Center where he died, and then go to his star on the Walk of Fame, and you were crying that entire day. So, Mom, did you have any emotional reaction to Matthew Perry dying?
Okay, let's go back to Michael Jackson real quick. I always wanted to see him live and in person. Yeah. And because I didn't get that opportunity, that's why I broke down at where they had the flowers placed at the house. It wasn't the star that y'all took me to. You took me to his house.
You did go to the star.
No.
Well, yes, you fucking did.
But prior to that, you took me to the corner there.
Yeah.
Where the house was right up the road where he died.
Yeah.
That's when I broke down. When
there is a photo. There is a photo of you standing like on his star with an impersonator, I believe.
Yes, but correct? That's not. He was alive then.
Mom, if you can find that photo, you have to post it on Necessary Conversation. Which, by the way, we got to talk about what you're doing there. When I send you these videos, you then play them on your iPad and you videotape it with your phone on the iPad. All you have to do is download the video and then post it to Instagram. You don't have to make this secondary part.
I knew it. I knew you were going to catch me. Roman showed me how to do it. Catch me that I was like redoing them on my iPhone. Because Roman came and showed me how to do it on the big computer, but it's different on my iPad.
Yes, on your iPad, you just go into your email where I'm sending you videos.
Yes.
You long press on them, I would guess, on the link. It will then open up a download thing. You download that to your camera roll. Then from your camera,
it won't go to my camera roll. It's going to Google something. Google something. And I don't know how to.
I'll figure it out. We're all going to be together for Thanksgiving. I'll figure it out. Okay. I'll help you get it right, because the way you're doing it now is just a disaster. But if you can, post that picture of you on Michael Jackson's star. I think that would be hilarious. Okay, so Matthew Perry, though, how are you feeling about this?
I'm sad. He is the first one of the group to go. We all know that in the past he had drug. He was addicted to some drugs and opiates and stuff, and it is sad. Yeah, but who knows why he died in the hot tub, all of that will come out. I'm sure everybody's thinking drugs, but who knows, maybe he really just had the heart attack and that was it. It's sad. Very, very sad.
All right, well, my reaction to it was kind of similar. End of an era. Friends was an important TV show, if for no other reason than it's just unbridled success. But Dad, I'm surprised you didn't like it, because one of the big complaints about Friends was that it was super racist. All the characters in it were white always, and they never really diverted from that until they kind of got in trouble for it. And then later in deep seasons into the series, they started introducing like Ross was dating
one black woman that he dated. It was Aisha Taylor, I think.
Yeah, I think
Dad's over there mumbling. He said he actually never got into that one.
Well, maybe it's time to start.
What was the other one that we liked?
My favorite.
Mike and Molly, Frasier.
No. That's coming back.
Tim, the Tool Man.
It's Frasier.
Tim, the Tool Man. Yeah.
Well, we've simmered down a little bit. Let's move back into the heat of things. Should women be jailed for abortions? Florida Governor Ron DeSantis falsely claimed last week that, quote, no pro-lifer has ever argued that a woman should be jailed for getting an abortion. DeSantis made the claim while criticizing a rival for the Republican presidential nomination, Nikki Haley, at a Thursday event in Winthrop College in South Carolina. DeSantis was asked if he took exception to anything Haley has been advocating on abortion-related policy, such as banning late-term abortions, encouraging adoptions, ensuring access to contraception, and making sure women are not jailed for having an abortion. DeSantis scoffed at Haley's comments about preventing women from being jailed, saying, quote, well, look, I mean, of course you're not going to jail a woman. No pro-lifer has ever argued that. So when she's saying that, she's indulging media narratives. That's a narrative. That's not how it is. But DeSantis is absolutely wrong. A group of party lawmakers in South Carolina State House this very year pushed for the passage of laws that would treat women who get abortions as murderers and subject them to the possibility of decades in prison. So my question is, Dad, is he around?
Let me get it.
I just simply don't understand why he can't sit next to you.
Well, when you get to the house, you'll understand.
A power play that he's doing? What is going on here?
We don't have enough room for two of us on a freaking couch. Okay, there he is.
Dad, should women be put in jail if they get an abortion?
Considering where I'm in
situation,
I'm in life, 100%.
And what do you think let's say
they're murderers.
Oh, so life sentence?
Yes.
Should they be put to death?
Depends on if they're one of the women who let the baby become comfortable and then kill it after birth. Yes.
Well, that's murder. So I agree with you there.
Well, what's the difference if you take them out before they're born? But they're 2 weeks from full term. That's murder.
Nobody's doing abortions 2 weeks from full term.
Oh, they're not?
No, they're not.
No, they're not now.
They were.
But they were.
Okay.
Smart guy.
Do you believe, Mom, that women should be put in jail if they get abortion?
Women who are having babies, and I don't give a shit what the reason is, do not have the right to take the life of that child. Okay. It's not their choice.
But you believe you have the right to kill Palestinian children.
Absolutely.
Very interesting, Mom.
Because they're all fucking terrorists.
Okay, Mom, should women be put in jail for getting abortions?
No, it's ridiculous.
Haley, now I know that you think they should.
Yeah. No, all right. Obviously not.
Let me then reduce this question down to a finer point. Dad, you're the only person who said women should be jailed for having abortions. Do you believe women should be jailed for having miscarriages?
No.
Interesting. So somewhere between miscarriage and abortion, what is the difference to you?
Miscarriage is not their choice.
Nature.
Okay. What if they...
If you choose to kill a baby that's in your womb, you're a fucking murderer.
Okay. And so then I assume you believe any doctors who perform these services should be in jail forever.
They should get the same sentence as the mother.
Okay. Interesting.
We just don't believe in abortion. You guys know that. That's how we stand. We don't believe in it. Should you be put in jail for it? Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, you should, but we've had so many years of getting away with it.
Yeah, I mean, so many years of getting away with it. That's what he said. Well, when you use it as birth control, I'd put him in jail then. If they're aborting a baby, people do that. Yes, they effing do, Haley. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Mom, do you know anybody who has ever had an abortion?
Yes.
Okay. And you believe that person should be in jail?
Yes.
I said no to jail.
No, I was talking to Dad.
Yeah.
Okay, Dad said yes.
Interesting. I don't know who this person is, but that's interesting. Is this a family member perhaps or a friend?
What?
Is this a friend or a family member or something?
Oh my God, really? No. It's an acquaintance.
It's an enemy.
It's an acquaintance from a long time ago.
Okay. Very vague. Okay, so that's interesting. Let me ask you this question. Dad, do you think Nikki Haley is making a mistake by holding the position that women should not be jailed by getting abortions? Do you think most Republicans think women should be put in jail for getting abortions?
Yeah, I think she's making a mistake running for anything. she's fucking done. She's so overcooked. She's dry turkey at Thanksgiving.
She's just trying to be. She's trying to be as moderate as she can be for.
She's like the progressive Republican.
Nikki Haley is so fucking irrelevant to the world. It's ridiculous.
No, I kind of disagree. I feel
you disagree all you want. We'll see
I really think that
right when it comes.
I really think that Donald Trump.
We'll find out.
I think Donald Trump is sunk.
I
don't think he's going to be the candidate. I really don't.
Oh, you don't know shit from your ass.
Okay.
He's a fucking criminal. He is a criminal. And I think more Republicans
Convicted
now.
At this point.
Yeah, he is a fucking criminal. The only people voting for Donald Trump are the fucking same people that voted for him the last time. There are no new votes for Donald Trump.
Oh,
me. I will be a new. I'll be a new vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah. And did you see how many hits that video made?
No, I didn't see. Did you post it?
Yes.
Oh,
I posted.
Didn't see that.
You have to vote for Donald Trump if he gets the nomination, which he will.
Yeah.
And
I don't think he will.
Okay.
You don't care what you think.
Put down my prediction.
Yeah.
1 year from today.
What you think is as important as what Nikki Haley thinks.
1 year from
Nothing.
my prediction, 1 year from today, put this down as my prediction.
All right, hang on.
We will be in this podcast, and I'm going to say, I told you so. We now have a new president, Donald Trump.
1 year from today,
Donald Trump will be our president.
Is elected, and this is on November 5th.
Yepper.
All right, I got it down.
And Nikki Haley,
I
thought Nikki Haley, I thought she was kind of like, she was running for president, all that. She still is, but I think she was trying to do that to be something on Donald Trump's.
Career is over.
To be in with Donald Trump.
But if that's your choice, if that is the Republican candidate, are you voting for her?
No.
What?
You're voting for Biden?
No. All right, Donald.
You just won't vote.
We're going to kill enough people where Trump wins it.
All right, Donald Trump in.
Okay, so if Trump is not the nominee, will both of you write Trump in?
I will. Will you?
And I'll
Dad
kill
said
as
yes.
many people who won't vote for him.
Okay, and he's going to kill everybody.
Dad, here's my prediction, Dad. You're going to kill 0 people. You're not going to fight in the Civil War. You are not going to march into Colorado. You will not go to Israel. You will not fight in Ukraine.
We won't have to. I won't have to. People in Colorado on my side will take care of business. There's more of them in northern Colorado that want to kill Denver than the vice versa.
So when you say we will start killing people in Colorado, you really mean not you.
My organization.
Oh, I didn't realize it was your organization. What is that organization, Dad? What should we call it?
I'm part of it.
What is it?
What my organization
MAGA
is Donald Trump's going to be the next president of the United States, and we will take down our organization will kill as many people as it takes to get him there.
That is a very wordy title for your organization. Can you boil it down to?
Get it down to?
Shit, where's my
Okay, here it is. Here it is. America first, death to everybody else.
Okay, still pretty wordy, but a little more to the point. Let's move on to our final topic.
Well, go ahead and make yourself an acronym or whatever you fucking liberals do. You can't talk. Everything's got a me or a fucking me or a fucking
a what?
or an AI or a PI. You all don't fucking talk.
Okay.
All you do is make up shit.
I don't understand.
He's done.
I have no idea what was even said there. Okay.
Is that like an Elon Musk thing? I don't understand.
A
an
meme,
AI or a PP or an EP or an AI or a meme. What does that mean?
He said y'all make shit up. Are you going to quit yelling and just talk? Okay. I might give him the mic back if he talks. Look, who's that? What is
Father
that?
of the Bride?
Yes. Okay.
Frank
Talk.
Bonks.
Don't.
All
Yeah.
right, Haley, this is for you.
Just talk, please.
The odds Nikki Haley ever does anything in politics again is a big fucking zero. That woman's political career is fucking over. She'll never be anything.
Okay.
She's worthless as tits on a boar pig.
I knew that was coming. Tits on a boar pig. Worthless as tits on a boar pig. I knew that was coming. Oh, God.
I'm marking that one down too, because I don't think her political career is over. I think she might wind up as a vice presidential candidate.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're making that prediction, write that down, because that's a wrong one.
No, I'm not predicting it. I just think it's possible. And his prediction flatly that her political career is over, I think, could be wrong. Let's move on to our final topic. Are you ready? We've already kind of grazed it a little bit. We're talking about that war, in quotes, not really a war, a genocide. In Gaza, we are talking about refugee camps and ambulances. The Israeli army bombed a convoy of ambulances near the largest hospital in Gaza on Friday, an attack that, in quotes, horrified United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres. The Al-Shifa hospital in Gaza City is overcrowded with patients and serves as a refuge for some 20,000 displaced people. The Israelis killed 15 civilians and wounded at least 60 others. The convoy of 5 ambulances was attempting to transport casualties toward the Rafah border crossing, but had to return to the hospital because the road was blocked with rubble when it was targeted by Israeli missiles. The Israeli forces have been insisting on the evacuation of the hospital, claiming it houses the underground command center of the Islamist militants. Another Israeli bombing last week also killed a dozen and injured at least 50 Palestinians at a UN school in the Jabalia refugee camp, the largest in Gaza. So the Israeli army is targeting ambulances, refugee camps, hospitals, schools. Is it okay, Mom, to bomb schools, ambulances, refugee camps in any circumstance? To target them. This is not collateral damage. They are targeting these places.
I was just getting ready to say collateral damage.
It's not, though.
Those ambulances are being used by Hamas.
Okay, ambulances, he said, are being used by Hamas.
I'm asking you this question, Mom. Wait, he's going to get his chance. Let Mom talk, Dad. I want to hear what her thoughts are. Then we'll come to you.
Number one, I don't know if that information is correct or not.
We
don't know.
What do you mean?
We don't know. We're not over there. We're not in the war.
Have you seen any of the footage? Have you seen any of the footage of children fucking crying and bleeding and bones out of their fucking body? Have you seen any of that footage?
Yes.
That is all the proof you need.
I've seen the footage where they raped, crashed in the lady's head that was at the music festival, put her in the back of a Jeep, showed her everybody after they gang raped her, then broke her arm, then had her talk on a video, then sliced her throat and killed her.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm looking at. That's the people I don't like. That's the evil people. And I'm on the opposite side.
Yeah, no one appreciates what Hamas did. Hamas does not speak for an entire fucking population.
So I'm going to tell them goodbye.
Okay, Dad wants to tell you goodbye.
All right.
What?
I said, I love you, Chad. I love you, Haley. I love you, Mary Lou. And I love the fucking Israelis for killing every fucking Palestinian on earth.
All right. Love you too, Dad.
Bye.
Have a good nap or whatever's going on. All right, Mom, we're not suggesting that what Hamas did is good in any way or should be defended. Of course, it is a fucking abhorrent act of terrorism, murder, rape. It's all the worst shit that a human being can do to another human being.
Right.
But now the Israeli army is doing essentially a similar
Same
act.
shit. Yeah.
To civilians. They are targeting civilians. This is not a military act. This is also terrorism. When you use a military force to target civilians, especially for political motivated reasons, that is terrorism.
This is called a war.
It's not a war, though. Who are they fighting?
Side. Huh?
There's not like a Palestinian military trying to fight back. It's just the Israeli army dropping bombs on hospitals.
Chad, we're not there. How do you know? In war, stranger things have happened. You got to pick a side. If you're on Israel's side,
I don't.
You get rid of them. You have to.
I don't pick either side. I'm against all of the violence, and both sides are committing that violence, so I choose neither side.
Okay, so if somebody would take me, rape me, break my arms, gang, and then fling me around, say, looky, looky, ha, 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 you would do nothing.
No, of course. I would try to seek justice for those specific people who are involved in that crime. And you look at someone like the Israeli military, who has, at this point, massive amounts of funding from the United States military, biggest military in the world. Do they have the capability of selecting more specific targets? Do they have the capability of going into Gaza and finding the actual Hamas soldiers that are responsible for this?
Yes, they do.
And bringing them to justice.
Israel did not start this fight. Israel did not start the fight. Remember that.
Right.
Once the fight started, you got to take them all down.
Listen, it's very complicated about who, in quotes, started the fight, and that goes back decades. What I'm looking at is this incident
not
right
when
now.
Not when they came into the music festival and just started gunning down people. Did they ask for that?
No, of course not.
On all the college campuses, the Jew students are so afraid right now. Did they ask for that? No. That's the side I'm on.
I'm talking specifically about what is going on there. I personally believe, yes, of course, what Hamas did was fucking terrible, and there should be repercussions in, I believe, a similar measure. I don't think what's happening now is a similar measure, and maybe they are killing some of the Hamas soldiers that were literally part of the terrorist act that happened that kind of kicked this whole thing off. Maybe they are getting some of them. They're not being forthcoming about that. If they are, the Israeli army is like, well, we believe we killed this guy, but we have no proof of it. And they're never going to have proof of it because they're just fucking decimating everything.
Yeah.
Proof is blown up. So
they're literally trying to level Gaza.
Yes, it's
and using Hamas as the scapegoat. Like they're literally trying to eradicate an entire fucking population.
We've talked about this before. In a war, collateral damage.
It's not collateral damage.
Want to win or not?
It's not collateral damage. They are specifically targeting civilians. That collateral damage is like,
and Hamas,
you try to hit a military target and oops, a couple civilians died. We do that all the time. We've had every president since drone strikes have been available, including Obama, including all the Republicans. They have all killed civilians, women, and children in collateral damage strikes, but it was always in service, or at least they say, it was always in service of trying to find an ISIS commander or an Al-Qaeda guy or whatever. This shit is like, I think it's very difficult to watch what's going on and believe that any of this is the Israeli military like targeting Hamas officials and like, oopsie, we blew up a fucking hospital. Huh? Send in your fucking ground troops. Send in your Israeli commandos to go get the guy in the tunnel under the hospital without killing 60 fucking children.
In a school.
Right. Well, I don't think the people at the music festival either asked for to be shot down and gunned down right then and there either.
No, but I'm saying that is not an excuse now for what is happening. I agree with you. That was an abhorrent act of terrorism, and the people involved should be brought to justice. But
like, can't you see that parallel? But can't you see the parallel that those innocent people at the fucking festival did not deserve to die, just as the innocent people in Gaza don't deserve to die?
What Dad and I have believed in Gaza, if they had a chance to get out. I asked Dad the other day if we were stuck there now. We know that we can get out. Guess what? I would fight tooth and nail and fight to get out of there.
Because they have bombed their way out. They can't get out.
Because I would be smart enough to know if I didn't get out, I was going to die anyway. And that's what's happening to them there. Our Americans can't even get a way out because our motherfucking government, hello, Biden, he is the worst president in history.
Biden. It's the Israeli military who has bombed the shit out of the place, so there's no roads that get out. There ain't a fucking airport. Like, you ain't going nowhere.
That, there was a way out by sea or airplane, and he was making them sign vouchers that if they did get out by our government, they would have to pay that back to our United States government within 30 days. And that is true. That's true.
But Dad's not here. I don't know where he went, but he was kind of the mind when we first started talking about this, that if you were in Gaza, even if you're an American over there, fuck it. You deserve to die.
Yeah.
Do you believe that to be true?
That's what he did say. But then I said, what if that was us there? He said, we'd try every way in hell to get out. And if not, then we know we were going to die. Yeah. We would be smart enough to know we were going to die, so we'd have to get out some way.
But there is no way to get out.
Guess what? You pick a side. The bad guys would probably then get us because we wouldn't be able to get out. So you die.
If you strip away the politics, which by the way are all fake, countries are just an abstract idea. They're not real.
None of this is real.
Religion
I know
is not real.
None of this is real. It's pretty real.
It isn't real. What is real, and that was not a pun. What is real, not is real. But
okay.
What is real is groups of people killing other groups based on these abstract ideas. And now you have two groups of people that are doing basically the same thing.
And they're going to wipe each other out.
In quotes, whatever the fuck that means, did it to all of these civilians in the first terrorist act. And now you have the Israeli military doing it to all these other civilians. It is just murder back and forth. Whatever the reasons are, the reasons aren't real. They never are. Politics don't really exist. Nationalities don't really exist. Religions don't really exist. These are just people justifying horrible acts of brutality and violence against one another.
Well, I think the people in the United States that fought for our country, that fought for our freedom, would disagree with you there. That our government is real. It has been real for a lot of years. That's why
in the
I have
scope.
the two flags laying in the cedar chest there. Both your grandfathers fought in the war, and the day they were buried, I was handed their flag. So that's real. So yeah, our government is real, and we've got to get this country back.
Nice. That was a very nice political wrap up, and we've got to get this country back. Thank you for your time, Senator Kultgens. Well, Haley, do you have anything to add to this conversation? It's a much more pleasant conversation when Dad is taking a nap or whatever.
I had to go take a nap.
Thing.
I don't know. It's it's all over any feed that you have, Instagram, fucking Facebook, TikTok, whatever. I'm a parent and I'm a woman, so seeing this shit happen, in a country where essentially it's just a bunch of moms and their kids like being fucking murdered, obviously it's hard to watch. You can't, I don't pick a side. There's humanity involved here. And if you have any kind of empathy for fucking humans at all, it's hard to watch this shit. And then to hear you guys say, kill them all is absurd. It's absolutely absurd that you can see those images and be against those people.
The images I am seeing are the same ones you're talking about that the Hamas went in and killed.
I agree. I also feel terrible for all of the hostages, all of the women, all of the people fucking shot at point blank range. I'm not a fucking Hamas apologist, okay? I believe that what they did was wrong. But I don't believe that Palestinians living in Gaza did anything wrong. They are not Hamas. And for you, they're synonymous, but it's not.
You don't know. You don't know if they are.
You do fucking know. There's a 5-year-old baby fucking dying. That's not a goddamn terrorist.
All right. But in a war situation, we've talked about this. You can't line them up and say, are you good or are you bad? Same thing in the Vietnam War.
Definitely, you can most definitely see a child and say that's a fucking kid. Doesn't deserve to die. Did nothing.
I have also seen 5- and 6-year-old kids on the other side that have guns and we're pointing them up to the American's head and say, kill them all. So when they're young, they're kind of indoctrinated into it too. I did see some of that, but I don't believe in killing babies. Crap, no. I don't believe in killing 90-year-old women, pushing them out of a wheelchair and slitting their throat. Who believes in that kind of stuff? Not me.
All right. Well, there you have it. We have some beliefs and we have some non-beliefs. But that wraps up our show. Again, if anybody wants to send in a question for this show, just send it in a 1-minute or under audio format to the necessaryconversationpod@gmail.com. And I would also like to encourage everybody to share this podcast with people you think might like it. We are trying to grow this audience a little bit. My mom has been doing a pretty good job on social media, trying to get it out there. But we do need to up your game.
That can be handed over to anyone on this podcast. Haley, Chad.
I ain't got no time. I produce the fucking podcast.
No time.
Well,
this is my job. My job is writing the script for this podcast every week, editing this podcast every week, making the YouTube video for this podcast every week, and then cutting the little videos for you every week that don't get used.
I've used them all. He's yelling at me just a minute. What?
If you haven't gone to
Wait a
the
minute.
Instagram, please go to the. What is our Instagram handle, Mom?
Just a minute. What, Bob?
Let me look.
Okay.
What's the Instagram handle again, Mom?
It is The Necessary Conversation, and then pod, I think you made me add. But remember, when I first started that on Instagram, there was already a necessary conversation that someone else started that couldn't remember the password. Hello, Chad. Yes.
Hello,
And then
Chad.
when I did the necessary conversation 2024, y'all were like, what are you doing? I had to. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
there is another podcast called The Necessary Conversations, by the way.
Is
That's
it
not
us?
us.
Oh, it's not
no,
us.
Chad told me to put pod after it. I thought I did.
Well, I don't know. It's very confusing, but check
I'll
if you
try to
follow me
find
on
it.
any of my other stuff at Chad
Try to
Kultgen
find it.
or at Bachelor Clues. I repost all the stuff that my mom posts, so you can find it there. But thank you everybody for joining us. And before we go, as always, we must tell each other we love each other despite our political differences. Haley, I love you. Mom, I love you. Dad, wherever you are, I love you.
Mom, Dad, I love you. Chad, I love you. Where is Dad?
Chad, Haley, Bob, I love you. He's in laying down taking a nap, and he said, turn that shit off. I can't stand it. There you go.
What shit? The Steve Martin?
You, me, and Haley.
Jesus Christ. All right, well, this is us turning ourselves off because my dad can't stand it. We will see you next week.